From the Huffington Post, politics section, 23 hours ago this was released. Pope Francis endorses Iran nuclear deal. That's a shocker, isn't it? The vote of confidence comes just before the Pope heads to Washington. And we know that very soon, next week, the Pope is going to come to Congress, which is unprecedented, and speak to a joint session of Congress. And also he's going to the UN, as we all know, to talk about the Agenda 21/Sustainable Agenda. But it says here in the Huffington Post, Pope Francis endorses Iran nuclear deal. I just wanted to share a couple paragraphs with you of this article, and then maybe a few ideas that I have about this. But let me show you, okay, on my phone, what this looks like here. Pope Francis endorses the Iran deal. Looks like a lamb, doesn't he? He's been known ever since his papacy, as have all the popes, to speak the words of the dragon. White like a lamb, just like Daniel and Revelation say. All right, Washington. The Vatican endorsed the Iran nuclear accord Monday as a positive step towards its broader goal of a world free of nuclear weapons. We hope that the full implementation of the nuclear deal will ensure the peaceful nature of Iran's nuclear program under the Non-Proliferation Treaty and will be a definitive step toward greater stability and security in the region. Peace and safety. When I say peace and safety, what's that remind me of? Archbishop Paul Gallagher, the Vatican's foreign minister, said in a statement delivered at the International Atomic Energy Association in Vienna. Okay, this is what gets me right here. And we know who this is talking about. The way to resolve disputes and difficulties should always be that of dialogue and negotiation, he said, a possible allusion to opponents of the nuclear agreement who have called for military strikes to destroy Iran's nuclear sites. Did you get that? Gee, I wonder who that opponent could be that they're talking about, that this Vatican foreign minister is speaking of here, that Archbishop Paul Gallagher is speaking of. It couldn't possibly be Israel, could it? He says the way to resolve disputes and difficulties should always be through that of dialogue and negotiation, but I think he's alluding to Israel here when he says, he said a possible allusion to opponents of the nuclear agreement who have called for military strikes to destroy Iran's nuclear sites. Again, I believe that he's alluding to Israel here because Israel has plainly said that they will hold nothing back, including striking Iran's nuclear facilities if it means protecting their country. So I know this is who he's alluding to here, even without coming out and saying it. It's reading between the lines. So Pope Francis endorses Iran nuclear deal. Of course he does. Of course he does, and so does the Vatican. You know, the papacy is not Israel's friend. He is going to come strong with a small people, which I could see to be a dual meaning, either the Palestinian people, which are a small people, or the Vatican city-state itself, because it's the smallest city-state that I know of. And he can become great with them too, which is another small people, another small nation. But he is going to come in looking like a lamb. He's going to come in peaceably, and by peace he will destroy many. This man is not Israel's friend. Yeshua, the true Messiah, when he was here 2,000 years ago, said, I come in my Father's name, and you will not receive me. But there will be another who will come in his own name, and him you will receive. And it's none other, in my opinion, than this man right here, or one of them. Revelation 17 talks about a city of 7 hills dressed in purple and scarlet. And this to me is the Vatican city-state. The cardinals and bishops are dressed in purple and scarlet. This to me is the man that looks like a lamb, has 2 horns like a lamb, and speaks the words of the dragon. He will come in peaceably, and by peace destroy many. And the Lord said that there is a man coming who will come in his own name, and the world will receive him. But Jesus came in his Father's name, which is the Holy Father, and the world rejected him. That he came to the world, and he made the world and came to the world, yet the world did not receive him and did not recognize him. Anyway, of course the Pope is all for this. Of course the Vatican is for this. And I believe that who they're alluding to here, talking about an opponent that is against this Iran nuclear deal, that is talking about strikes against Iran's nuclear facilities. I believe that this foreign minister here for the Vatican is speaking of Israel. I do. But Israel will defend herself. And, Prime Minister Netanyahu has already said this very plainly. But it doesn't come as any shock to me that the Pope is for this deal. He is not Israel's friend. He's not. As a matter of fact, I believe that he is the man of sin himself that has been revealed, that Paul discussed in 2 Thessalonians. Have a good day, guys. Keep watching. Keep looking.